People online are saying this could have been an email, but that's just not as fun. New Punisher special is out. It is called The Punisher One Last Kill. Till the next one. Really like how this dives into the psychology of Frank Castle. It is stuff we've seen before in like the Punisher series. I've never finished the Punisher series. I need to actually go back and watch it in its entirety, and this did inspire me to do that. But I didn't feel left behind without that show. I really enjoyed how this gave us a bit of a mindset and almost a reintroduction into Frank Castle in isolation in this world. It feels consistent with what has come before tonally with the Punisher, but still feels a bit revamped for now, like for the way the Marvel New York side of things with Daredevil and now the universe of Punisher is moving. And I really enjoyed how this had consistency in that, but it didn't feel like Daredevil energy. This felt like Punisher energy. And I like that it didn't rely on knowledge of Daredevil Born Again necessarily to know where he is now. I thought it was a very smart move. I really love the first hour, or it's only an hour, if even, but I love the first half of this hour where it is just exploring Frank Castle's mindset. You really feel isolated with this character. And it's really sad. Like, it just feels intense. Nothing about Frank Castle's demeanor or what he deals with internally feels relaxing. It's always tension, a tense feeling of something always coming, like his PTSD is constantly messing with him. I like that we get to see just him in a room, that moment where really just Jon Bernthal brings it. He's sitting in the room alone, talking to himself, repeating certain mantras. He's remembering soldiers from the past. He was remembering characters, I believe from the Punisher show. But I thought this did a good job of recontextualizing it in this is people from his past, from his PTSD, from his experience. It fills you in on the character without relying on you having to have seen the previous show, I think. Could have used a whole hour of just him walking around and just contemplating. Like, he's a fascinating character, and just those moments where he is talking to people from his past, like his family, when he's trying to just reach his daughter, who he talks to like she's still there, but she comes and goes in waves almost while he mourns her. It's really sad and tragic thing to see this character just begging to connect again. And I like how it's treated like this moment where you're seeing what someone deals with in isolation compared to how you see them when you're just passing them by. Because in Daredevil, you're seeing Frank Castle from Matt Murdock's POV. Here, you get to really see what goes on when Frank Castle's behind closed doors, away from everybody. I appreciate those moments, especially the ones where he's even thinking about Karen and the people from his past. He doesn't just think about his wife and his kids. He thinks about anyone he's connected with and how even they would view him, how he projects, how he views himself from the image of them in his mind. Basic premise is Punisher's living in this area, this like sort of run-down apartment complex, and he's just kind of in his head, but he's taken out a mob family. But there's been a power vacuum in the area because of that. So now Punisher's just kind of living in that chaos that he is kind of indirectly caused, even though the mob was causing it before. He's only become a cog in that machine, a symptom of that disease, if you will. Sometimes that's needed because those people who hurt the dog, I wanted them disemboweled. He was the biggest piece of shit of the whole special. Like, guillotining him is still not satisfying enough for me. Also a Punisher special, so you're just getting in your seat, you're like, oh, I know you're gonna get it. It's just a matter of when. It is revealing about who Frank Castle is internally just as a character. He doesn't just attack people for the sake of attacking people. He's not just a blatant person who just goes and hurts others. Like, there is a code he works by, and I like seeing how this special highlights that, how he communicates and how he kind of has a connection to the people in the community around him. Instead of choosing vengeance, he chooses to be the vigilante Punisher and save people from the mistakes he's kind of indirectly caused, like the sandwich shop owner or that food shop owner, or is it a coffee shop? Restaurant owner. No, I got a restaurant wrong. I'm LARPing, whatever. Jokes aside, though, I do like those moments because it speaks a lot to who Frank Castle is as a character. It's not just a filler moment, it's how he sees other people who are innocent. He cares about protecting the innocent more than even just his revenge. I do like that this Punisher special kind of likes to have its cake and eat it too. Like, it is introspective, it's somber, it's a slow burn at the beginning, but then it does have its entertaining action. It doesn't take away from that. It's not like saying, hey, stop having fun because the Punisher is wrong for wanting revenge. Sometimes revenge stories can kind of conflict with themselves because they're saying revenge is wrong, but you're enjoying every moment of the revenge because it's Punisher. I like that this special kind of was able to ride that balance pretty well. You agree with the Punisher, you also see where the message is coming from, but they both kind of work in tandem. As for the villain herself, she's kind of weak. She sets the whole thing off, and she's there for a reason, but what can I say? I think her line delivery and the way just her character was written felt like she was kind of stripped out of a different thing going on. Like the line delivery felt a little more self-aware and cheesy compared to the tone set up at the beginning of this only hour long thing. If even an hour, including credits, is like 45 minutes. So like, you only have so much time. So when tonal conflict happens, it really stands out. What can I say? When she just dropped that line of "now I'm doing the punishing," I kind of rolled my eyes. It was self-aware, did a dialogue and stuff like that. It kind of threw me off for what tone we were doing here. Like, this felt like season 1 Punisher, dark, somber, PTSD. Oh, cheesy self-aware lines. It's one moment, it didn't ruin the whole thing, but it is something that did stand out with the villain character. And admittedly, for me, myself, the needle drops didn't always work for me. Sometimes I'm just kind of over the let's play an upbeat song for irony over the very horrid thing going on. And I feel like it's just such a trend now in modern media. Sometimes it can be a bit exhausting. I'm talking in particular the moment badass when Frank Castle screams, runs to the door on fire, starts fighting all the dudes in the hallway. It's a good moment. I didn't need that song over it. It just felt kind of like, all right, I've seen this done over a dozen times now. But then again, sometimes a needle drop can work because I enjoyed the metal needle drop at the very end when he decides to go chase down the dudes and save the guy instead of chasing revenge. I thought that was badass. So like, sometimes it can work, sometimes it doesn't. This has a bit of both. Favorite moments in this were the moments of isolation with our character, the moments where he is contemplating taking himself away. You know what I mean? Really showing our characters be in those vulnerable positions is what I live for. I love seeing that in this. I thought that really worked. It was a nice, concise little viewpoint into how the Punisher sees the world and how he decides to be a vigilante over just being revenge. And it did inspire me to go back and see the Punisher show again, because like I want to watch it through its entirety now. For now, Punisher's got to go misbehave a bit so Spidey can come humble him in July, and I'm excited for that. Punisher One Last Kill was exciting, entertaining, dark, dour, sad, everything you kind of want from Punisher. Bit rushed at points to my liking, but admittedly, I do like that it feels almost like a comic. Like you just open up a comic, you have a couple issues, you read about this character, and you move on with your life. And I like that kind of interconnectivity. You're just getting a mindset of a character without having to over-rely on the setup. I don't give a fuck about Doom in this. I just like that Punisher is dealing with his problems, and that's interesting enough. I appreciate it going that way. I want Marvel to keep doing stuff like this. Also, if we just did more specials instead of just either forcing shows for every character, maybe this could be a way in for cool moments that stand out from the movies without having to over-rely on the connection of those movies. What did you think of the Punisher special? Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. Leave a like, leave a comment, come talk about shows with us, come talk about movies with us, come talk about stories with us. I'll see you next time.